I'm joined with Ian Harris from Copper Giant. Ian, thanks for joining me.
Oh, a pleasure.
So, interesting time to be running a copper company or development stage company with everything that's just recently happened yesterday with Mr. Trump and talking about a 50% tariff on copper. What's going through your head right now?
It's and our overall backdrop, here we're at the Rickroll Symposium and there's just a vibe in the air, right? I've hearing things I haven't heard I've been in this industry for 30 years and it feels like over 10 years before somebody said, I'm looking to re-roll my profits into some other stuff. And, just hearing those kind of comments is very, very, very exciting. And we've seen the run in gold this year on the equity side. So one more time. So the equities have outperformed the commodity. You're seeing the action in silver, you're feeling it in copper, and now there's all this attention in copper. So I've said it for a while now. One of the biggest issues in copper is that people just have been ignoring the issue, right? They haven't wanted to pay attention to or a lack of understanding. So the neat thing about the tariffs, it makes people rethink about production chains and sourcing of copper. So you really are seeing the United States saying, I want to make sure I control my copper production chains. You see India coming out, who's on 11% growth rate of copper, right now, 11% growth rate on their usage of copper, also going out and saying, if you help me build smelters, I'll help you build your mines. You see smelters paying to buy concentrate, so the treatment charge, they're negative, right? You're not paying to get your concentrate treated, they're paying you to treat your concentrate, right? So it's really, you're seeing that dynamic, right? At the same time when ni- um, discoveries are down 90%. 90% over the last 10 years. Like it's dramatic, the setup that we're having today. So yeah, seeing the spotlight, I think timing is looking very nice.
So, since the last time we spoke, you guys used to be called Libero Copper. Now it's Copper Giant. Why the name change?
Uh Long story short, Frank Juster came into the company. He's now the largest shareholder. We moved into the Fiore group. There was some talk on we need to do a name change to say, this is under new direction. And so Copper Giant came out too at the same time as we did a lot of new geological work and have a new, deeper understanding of the geology. And it kind of just stuck, that it was this is the next giant. And so it just kind of stuck the new name, and was the purpose of the new name is basically it's under new management, and moving this thing forward to be the next Copper Giant.
So, you guys just identified a new exploration target at Mocoa back in May. What can you tell us?
So one of the issues that we had on the project, and we face it a few times, and even with some of the big the corporates, they go, well, you got 600 million tons, but we're looking for bigger. And we go, well, this thing is an inherited resource. It was drilled off, and then we did a resource estimate. And so we wanted to be able to take and demonstrate where this project can go in the near future. We even think it could be, that is just around the deposit area. But we're looking at about 600 million tons, and the target could add an additional 1 to, 1.5 billion tons, right? So we're basically showing a runway at the existing resource area where this thing could grow to 2 or 3 times bigger. And why is that important? It's important because we've seen so much consolidation within the market, and there's a need for copper, but they don't want to be building 500 projects. They want big projects that can move their balance sheet. And we've been told to our face, we are looking for 2 billion tons, 0.5% metal content, copper equivalent, but they say a real copper equivalent, which could have 10 million tons of contained metal. And what's really nice is that exploration target is saying you're getting, 90% of the way to demonstrating that this could be the size and scale of the project. And that's why that's so important, because that list is short. That would put Mocoa in a top 15 largest resources in South America, for example, of which I think only 4 are not owned by a major.
So, you guys just announced $5 million financing. Is there anything you'd say on camera about how that financing is going, what the money's going to be used for? What can you tell us?
It was a little bit of a rip the Band-Aid off moment, and I'll explain why. Because we've obviously mobilized 2 drills, we've put out some great drill results, and now we're showing the commitment on how we could get this 14,000-meter program done by the end of the year, looking at the next resource estimate, and really saying we're trading for .2 cents per pound in the ground, where our nearest competitors are about a penny per pound in the ground. So we've already put all the catalysts into place to justify a re-rate, but really haven't felt the momentum in market yet. But I really think the catalysts are there, right? But we said, we need to do it. Maybe a little bit of the overhang is they're saying, you need the money in the bank to be able to perform. And we said, Frank was behind it. He showed his commitment to it, says, let's just do this. So we went out to do the financing, which will finance us through this 14,000-meter drill program. And so far, without very forward looking, it's going extremely well considering it's only been live for a few hours.
Okay, so last question for you here, Ian. If you and I are sitting here at the Rule Symposium in 2026 talking about how it's been a successful year, what will that have meant?
So for me is obviously get the valuation that the company deserves, right? Get it this baby relaunched, keep things moving forward. We'll probably be on the back of a new updated resource estimate, which will be putting us through some of those important qualifying factors in sorts of resource size, getting a resource beyond that billion-ton number, really putting the project on the map. The other interesting thing will probably just be on the back of brand new elections in Colombia, which is, I think, another a little bit of overhang in perception, but I don't think everybody realizes that we have elections in May of next year. The current president cannot run again, so he can only run for one term. So I think also that there will be a new spotlight on Colombia, despite collective mining doing great, despite Eris doing great, despite so many great things going on in Colombia. The real things are happening. I think people will be recognizing that. So I think we'll be in a much stronger position this time next year when we sit down here at Rick Rule.
All right, well, Ian, thanks so much for sitting down with us. I think it's a great time to have a big copper story, and I'm sure that a lot of people in our audience are probably going to be keeping an eye on you guys. So thanks for hopping on here.
A real pleasure.